Allesamt guten Tag und willkommen bei Pilbology. This is a beginner's level video that can be found in the beginners section of the YouTube channel. And today we're going to be focusing in particular on irregular verbs. So, regular verbs is something that we've come across. Now it's time to have a look at irregular verbs. First of all, just to recap what regular verbs are, those are the verbs which take what we would call the standard endings. So for the ich, du, er, sie, es, wir, ihr, and sie, and if you want more information you can go and find those videos on the channel, you would use the endings I, S, T, T, so ich, du, er, sie, es, wir, ihr, sie. Okay, so more information about that elsewhere. What we're going to be looking at today is actually how those rules kind of apply sometimes, which is annoying. So, if I just open up a new browser, a quick search on a popular web search engine might bring you up some quite helpful resources. So if I were to search for verb conjugation, oh look what comes up, verb conjugation German. If I click on that, let's go with the top one, why not? We come across this website called Verbix, and look at this, the top 10 verbs. Okay, so this may be the top 10 verbs from this website, but actually these are all verbs that we need to know. And but looking at them briefly, about 7 of them are irregular. Okay, so these are definitely worth knowing. The 2 in particular that I'm looking to focus on are haben and sein. So if we just have a quick click on that. So here you have it. Ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es, ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind. Okay? If you haven't done so already, make sure that you have this written down somewhere. And whilst you're there, you might also want to note down the past tense. You'll probably notice that the war and warst, war, waren, wart, waren follows a reasonable pattern of the ST and then the EN, TEN, but it's still irregular. This just means was. And it comes from when the S and the R in some words in old, middle, high, something or other German a long time ago was the same. Okay, war, and was. Okay, so was, war. Ich war, I was. But we need to focus as well on the present tense. The other one we need to know, of course, is haben. Now, one rule that might be worth noting down is the rule that generally irregular verbs are irregular in the du and the er, sie, es form. I'll say that again. It's generally the du, and you can see the du and the er, sie, es, and you can see how that's actually highlighted here in red on this particular site. Okay. Another fine example is here with the verb sehen. Sehen, to see, which is a particularly useful verb. So again, du and er, sie, es, man form are irregular. Now we'll stick with sehen for the moment because there is a verb which is quite useful. It's called a separable verb. Now, separable verbs, that's another category altogether, but this is just a brief introduction. They're actually quite straightforward. There is the verb in German, fernsehen. Okay? Now the conjugation of fernsehen is exactly the same as here. Okay? So fernsehen, is, or rather means, to watch TV. You literally distance see. So fern implies a distance, aus der Fernung, from a distance. And sehen, obviously to see, so distancing. You are essentially, when you're watching TV, you are distance seeing. So from now on, when you say to your parents, I want to watch TV, you say, I want to distance see, and it will help you. Anyway, you would conjugate this as follows. So you would, let's take just the ich in the do form. Ich sehe, and then the fern bit goes on the end. Ich sehe fern. It kind of goes without saying, therefore, that du siehst fern would be the you watch TV. So sehen, the irregular verb sehen, is a particularly good one to know. Not just because of saying see or watch, but in the context also of watching television. If you choose to use this particular website, I'll just take this and bring this over here. If you choose to use this particular one, this verbix.com, then please be aware, whilst I'm thinking about it, about adverts. There are obviously adverts that appear here. We are interested not in the adverts, but rather in the verb conjugation. So to quickly recap, you've got haben and sein. Those are absolutely essential for what we'll be moving on to next, which is how to create the past tense. And you can see some videos about that also on the channel. Okay, also dann, viel Glück und viel Spaß mit dem Video. Tschüss!